The judge just ruled, and Blake Lively's team did not get what they wanted. We are talking about one of the most high-profile, most talked about Hollywood legal battles in years. A case that started with allegations of harassment on a movie set and turned into a full-scale war over reputation, money, power, and who controls the narrative in one of the most expensive industries on the planet. And right now, after months of legal back and forth, leaked text messages, PR campaigns, insider stories, and courtroom drama, the tide is shifting. And it is not shifting in Blake Lively's direction. Welcome back to the Marquee Report. I'm your host. And today we are giving you the complete breakdown of where this case stands right now. What the judge just decided, what it means for Blake's $290 million lawsuit, and why, somehow, against all odds, Justin Baldoni might actually be winning this thing. Buckle up, because this one is wild from start to finish. Let's rewind quickly for anyone who needs the full picture, because this story has so many layers that it is easy to lose track of what actually started all of this. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni co-starred in It Ends With Us, the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's massively popular novel. Baldoni also directed. The movie came out in the summer of 2024, made serious money at the box office, and then, behind the scenes, everything fell apart completely. Blake filed a legal complaint against Baldoni in December 2024, accusing him of sexual harassment on set, and then allegedly orchestrating a coordinated smear campaign against her reputation after she spoke up. Baldoni denied everything. His team fired back with their own allegations. Legal letters started flying, insider leaks started dropping, and the internet, which had initially rallied around Blake, started to shift. Then came the bombshell. Blake's team announced they were seeking $290 million in damages, $290 million, based on lost business opportunities, damage to her brands Betty Boos and Blake Brown, reputational harm and pain and suffering. At that point, this stopped being just a Hollywood scandal. This became one of the biggest celebrity legal battles in recent memory. And everyone, from casual fans to legal experts to entertainment journalists, started watching every single development extremely closely. And then the judge made a decision that rocked Blake's entire legal strategy. In early April, a federal judge dismissed Blake Lively's sexual harassment claims from the lawsuit. Let me say that again clearly. The sexual harassment claims, the foundational accusations that started this entire legal war, dismissed now. Blake's team was quick to point out that 3 claims remain active, including retaliation, so the lawsuit is not dead. The trial is still scheduled. But losing those sexual harassment claims is not a small thing. It is not a minor procedural setback that you can spin your way out of with a well-worded press release. Because here is the reality of how public perception works. The moment a judge looks at your core accusations and says, these do not meet the legal standard to proceed, the entire narrative around your case shifts. Suddenly you are not the person who bravely came forward with serious allegations. You are the person whose most serious allegations did not survive their first major legal challenge. And Blake's team knows this. Her attorneys know this, her PR team knows this, because they have watched the public mood shift in real time. And right now, the mood is not favorable. And then there is the Ryan Reynolds situation. Because no breakdown of where Blake Lively stands right now is complete, without talking about the man who is supposed to be standing right next to Ryan Reynolds, one of the most beloved, most carefully branded celebrities in Hollywood, has been noticeably absent from Blake's public orbit during this entire legal battle. And the internet has noticed. The internet has noticed very loudly. Ryan has been moving around, promoting projects, attending sports events, sailing, smiling in public, keeping his usual sarcastic charm alive and intact. Meanwhile, Blake keeps appearing tense, stressed, isolated, and exhausted in paparazzi shots. And even though nobody truly knows what is happening privately inside their marriage, audiences fill in the blanks themselves. That is just how celebrity culture works. Silence creates theories, and the theories right now are brutal. Some people think Ryan wants distance from the scandal because it is hurting his own carefully built public image. Others think he regrets becoming creatively involved in It Ends With Us at all. Some even believe Hollywood insiders are quietly blaming Ryan behind closed doors for escalating tensions during production. And none of that may be true, but the perception is there, and in Hollywood, perception is everything. The gap between how Ryan looks right now and how Blake looks right now is visible to anyone paying attention. And a lot of people are paying very close attention. And just when you thought this story could not get any more complicated, Taylor Swift's name started appearing in conversations about Blake's scandal. Because every time Blake's controversies grew, people started dragging Taylor's name into it too. Suddenly fans are analyzing old friendships, old interviews, old appearances together. People online started joking that Blake somehow leaves damage around everyone connected to her lately. And Hollywood is extremely sensitive to that kind of reputation energy. The second someone starts being viewed as bad for your image, celebrities slowly begin creating distance, whether publicly or privately. That is why people noticed how few major celebrities openly interacted with Blake recently. It was not just the Met Gala. It is the overall vibe around her right now. And for someone like Taylor Swift, who has spent years building one of the most carefully managed personal brands in the entire music industry, being associated with someone whose reputation feels unstable is not something her team takes lightly. Now here is the part of this story that nobody predicted, the part that is probably driving Blake's camp absolutely names behind closed doors. Justin Baldoni's image is getting stronger. A few months ago, most people would have assumed Justin would disappear quietly after accusations like these. Instead, the exact opposite happened. The more chaotic the situation became, the more people online started viewing him as calm, composed, and unfairly targeted. And once audiences emotionally attach to an underdog storyline, it becomes incredibly powerful and incredibly difficult to reverse. Now every new legal update feels like Justin surviving another attack. Every negative headline about Blake becomes proof for people already suspicious of Hollywood PR games. Every insider leak about the movie edit reinforces the idea that Justin was the real creative force behind the project. Even reports about test audiences preferring Justin's original cut of the film over the version Blake pushed for added fuel to that perception. Because suddenly people were not just defending Justin morally, they were defending him artistically too. And that is a completely different level of public support. That is not just sympathy, that is belief. And belief is very hard to fight in a courtroom of public opinion. So where does all of this go from here? Because the trial is still scheduled. The legal fight is not over, and Blake's team still has 3 active claims and a $290 million demand on the table. But here is what her team has to navigate now. If Blake does not get those attorney fees she is fighting for, that is another giant wave of headlines about her losing again. At that point, her team is going to have a very hard time convincing people this was all secretly some brilliant strategic victory. Because right now the public mood is very clear. People are exhausted, fascinated, suspicious, entertained, and completely locked into this Hollywood mess. Every appearance, every paparazzi photo, every leaked insider story involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is going to keep feeding the gossip machine non-stop until the final legal dust. Hollywood's stars can survive scandals, they can survive lawsuits, they can survive bad press cycles. But what is much harder to survive is losing control of your image narrative. Once the public stops seeing you as authentic, every future move becomes harder, every statement gets picked apart, every smile in a photo gets analyzed, every absence gets theorized about. And right now, Blake Lively is fighting on every single one of those fronts simultaneously: the legal battle, the public perception war, the brand damage, the celebrity friendship fallout, the marriage optics, all of it. At the same time, the judge has ruled, the claims are narrowed, the trial is coming, and the internet has already picked its favorite version of this story. The question is, can Blake Lively get ahead of this narrative before the courtroom delivers its final answer? Or has she already lost the most important battle? The one for public trust. That is all for today's Marquee report. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you Team Blake or Team Baldoni at this point? Has the judge's decision changed how you see this whole situation? Let's talk about it. Hit subscribe if you are new here. And I will see you in the next one.